Greetings from the homestead. I'm Volkmom, and today our home is filled with the delicious aroma of bone broth simmering on the stove. This is something I make for my family on a regular basis. Simmering meaty bones and vegetable scraps into a nourishing broth is ancient. It is easy to make and was utilized greatly by our ancestors, from the peasants to the nobility. All could enjoy this simple preparation. Not only is well-made broth the foundation for any good soup, but in lean times it can help stretch your stores and prevent starvation. It is also the most efficient way to put the butcher's leavings to good use. In years past, my husband and I have participated in hunting and butchering camps, where there are often several deer to process in a short amount of time. Saving the skins for hide tanning and leather making, removing the tender cuts of meat, organs, and roasts, you're left with perfectly good meaty bones. We would get fires going and simmer down gallons of tasty broth, which could then be frozen or canned in mason jars. Have you got joint pain, arthritis, or digestive problems? Homemade broth is rich in gelatin, calcium, protein, and other nutrients that greatly help with those things. Taking in high-quality gelatin to your body can also help with your workout routine. Many are familiar with the expensive gelatin supplements marketed to weightlifters, many of which contain high amounts of sugar, GMOs, and worst of all, soy, which wreaks havoc on your hormones, men and women alike. I like to send a jar of my homemade gelatin-rich broth with my husband when he's headed to the gym or a long day of laborious work. There are just a few things to know before you start making your own. You can make broth or stock with just about any meat. Use the carcass of the roasted chicken or any kind of bones from venison, beef, lamb or mutton, pork, duck, and even fish, with or without the meat on the bones. The more the bones, the more gelatin will be in your broth. You must start with cold water and a large dash of apple cider vinegar. This will help pull the nutrients from the bones and the meat and into your broth. If you want to go the extra mile, you can pre-roast meaty bones from your venison, beef, or lamb, then pour off the fat and go from there. But it's not absolutely necessary to do this step. Additions to your pot of broth are optional, and the possibilities are numerous. Some things that I like to add are parsley, carrot, and celery. These are chock full of essential minerals. Depending on what type of broth I'm making, sometimes I'll add a handful of dried mushrooms or a pinch of seaweed, both of which are very ancient traditional European foods. I'll sometimes add garlic, onions, or shallots, rosemary, or even onion skins, which impart a rich flavor and a deep golden color. Pieces of hooves or chicken feet are invaluable to the finished broth. They have the highest gelatin content. You can get them very clean using a scrub brush, and the work is well worth it. If you raise chickens, the stock pot is the best way to retire an old hen or unwanted roosters whose meat would be too tough for any other dish. I keep a stock bag in my freezer where useful trimmings go until it's time to brew the broth. Add sea salt to your pot for more trace minerals. For 1 gallon of stock, use at least 1 whole chicken carcass plus meat scraps, or for a red meat broth, use 2 to 4 pounds of meaty bones per gallon of broth. Let everything soak in cold water for 10 minutes and then slowly bring to a simmer over the course of an hour. Simmer at least 24 hours. Then your broth or stock can be used immediately or cooled and stored in glass jars in the refrigerator for up to 8 days or frozen indefinitely. Just be sure to strain it first. To drink a cup for health, a meal, or to heal, try salting to taste and adding a spoonful of high-quality butter. This can also be an excellent meal replacement to help with weight loss. The leftover bones will be soft and can safely be fed to your loyal canines for a safe and much appreciated treat. Commercial broths and bouillons in the grocery store are completely void of any nutrition and are made as cheaply as possible. I hope you'll be inspired to incorporate making your own into your weekly or monthly routine. Channeling the wolf spirit and the wisdom of our ancestors, I hope that this traditional bone broth will nourish and strengthen my folk. Thank you so much for listening.